So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take the bodywork off your Ohvale GP-0.
The tools you need for this are a 3mm, 4mm and 5mm hex drive and a nice little socket handle.
So the first piece that comes off is the belly fairing down here. So the fairing's actually in three pieces, well four, because there's two middle pieces, top piece and the belly fairing. We'll take the belly fairing off first. So one of the tricks with the fairing is this screw right in here. So the problem is, even if you can get on it, you still can't get it out because the gear shifter rod is too close. But there's a way around this that I'm going to show you. So the easiest way I find is just to pop the actual foot peg off here. And the way you do it, you get your 5mm, pop it in the clamp screw at the back, pop this clamp screw out, like that, and then what you'll find is the gear shifter assembly and the rear set foot peg slide out like that, and then you've got lots of room here. Now, one thing to point out, in here there's a little black rubber washer, and don't let that fall out and get lost. So that's just something to keep an eye on. And then once you've undone this, you can just pop this back in here and it'll stay there. Okay, so you get your 4mm hex drive here, pop it in this screw, and this is the first screw out. As you can see, there's plenty of room because the rear set foot peg and the shifter rod are out of the way. Pop the screw out. So the thing with this screw is there's a nylon washer behind it. Just make sure you don't lose that. Put it down somewhere safe, and then just to keep this out of the way, we can just pop that back in there for the time being. You'll notice there's another two screws here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to loosen these off. Now these are the 3mm hex threads that you need. So we'll just slacken them off for now, and I'll go around the other side and we'll have a look at the bigger screw that's behind the brake lever. So on the right side, the bigger fairing bolt, the back one, is behind, it's in here, it's behind the brake lever. And this is why I use these tools with the rounded end, because with this one, if you have this type of tool, you can actually get on it and unscrew it. Now if you can't, then what we do is the same as the left side. You pop the clamp screw out, and then you can pull the rear set off here, and it comes with the brake assembly and the lever, and you can reach here. So if you can't get in there with the tool you have, pop this one off like we did on the left side. Okay, so I've loosened this one off. Okay, and now we can just move the gear lever out of the way. Again, be careful you don't lose the little nylon washer. One out. The next two we'll take out are these two. Once these two are out, we can then lower the belly pan down. So when you go to pull the last screws out, make sure that you support the belly pan. Because the screws the other side out, and it'll swing across. So just to prevent any damage, just as you pop these ones out, just support the belly pan so that it doesn't put too much stress on where the screws go into the mid panels. There we go. Once that one's out, you can then carefully drop the belly pan down. Now, a little tip, I always do this when I'm taking things apart. Put the screws back in just finger tight where they came from, so that way A, you're less likely to lose them, and B, you won't be second guessing yourself as to where they came from. So the next section to come off is the mid section here. Now this is held on by 3 bolts, and we use the 3mm tool for this. There's one here, and one down here. So again, when you're taking the midsection off, once you've got the screw this end out, make sure you support it so you don't put too much stress on the little front fairing here. These are the last 2 screws. There we go. And then you can gently lift it towards you, and there it is. Making sure the little plastic washers are there. And again, we're just going to pop these in, just finger tight, back where they came from, so that we won't lose them. And we know where they go when we reassemble the bike. Just again. Okay, the last piece to come off is the little nose piece here with the air intake for the oil cooler. There's only 2 screws that hold this on. They hold it onto the fairing top stay. So there's one this side in this little cutout here, and then there's one that side in that little cutout there. So to get this one off, we're still using the 3mm. This is the most common size you'll find for all of these screws, except for the 2 big ones on the belly pan and the little ones around this windshield. So once again, I'm supporting this little unit. I've got this screw out the side. We'll just pull this one out the side, and again, because there's only 2 screws in it and it gets really floppy as the screws get loose, make sure you support it. Thank you. Before you get the last screw out of the fastener here. There it is. Okay, and again, we'll be putting the screws back in the holes they came from. Glad you now know how to get the bodywork off. In the next video, we're going to take the seat and tank unit off.